Describe the way this fall camp has gone for this team so far.
I think it's went really well. I think we didn't take any steps back from where we finished in the spring. I think we picked up right where we left off as an offense as a whole, and I think our defense has been really well too. So it's been good being able to compete and go up against that talent on the other side of the ball every day. I think, iron sharpens iron, and we're just getting better every day.
What's that been like bonding with some of those new receivers? We've heard, Josh Manning has stood out. That's what CK said last week. And what's that been like with him?
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time just by ourselves, like throwing routes on air and stuff in the summer. So we were really intentional about getting work this offseason and building that chemistry so that it translated when we got into fall camp. So, I mean, we're 10 or 11 practices in now, and I think we're only progressing each and every day. So I'm excited to see what those guys do on September 5th, and they make my job a lot easier. So I'm really just blessed to be in my position right now.
Everybody keeps talking about Brandon. Just how has he stood out to you and become a favorite target of yours?
Yeah, I think he's just so elusive with the ball in his hands, and he's that type of guy, you get it to him, and he can take a 5-yard gain and turn it into 50. So being able to have a yak guy that is explosive and elusive as he is with the ball in his hands and really be a really good route runner and take the top off of the defense, I think it's going to really be something special to watch this year.
You're in the room every day with Dylan Duff. How would you describe his maturation and development to this point?
I think he's competes every day and has only gotten better since the first snap he's taken here. Comes out, so he goes to work, takes care of his business, and he's good. He pushes me to be a better quarterback every day, so it's good to have somebody like that in the room.
Where do you think you've taken the biggest step, just kind of recent weeks?
Really just trying to be a constant leader, bring constant energy, and not have negative energy, because I know a lot of people look at me in adverse times. So being able to be that positive light when things aren't necessarily going well is something I've been trying to work on, and just always, being a servant leader out there for my guys.
Avery, what's the biggest thing Collin's really challenged you to do during training camp?
I think he just pushes me every day to, as far as physically, just, be accurate and mentally, like, knowing it's going into my fourth year, he challenges me to take the next step, and whether it's reading coverages or being able to ID stuff up front and get protections flipped, whatever it is, he puts just the right amount of weight on my shoulders so that I can go out there and we can get the best looks for what we want versus their defense, but he doesn't put too much on my shoulders to where I go out there and overthink. So I think he does a really good job of, pushing me to where I don't get too comfortable and complacent, and allows me to go out there and really strain and push to be the best version of myself every day.
Where do you think Lincoln can have the biggest impact on offense?
I think it's versatility. You line him out wide, he can run routes like a wide receiver. You put him in the box, he's only developed just being young. He's only developed as a blocker. And I think we have a really deep tight end room, one of the deepest in the country. 3 different guys that do 3 different things, a bunch of things really well. So I think his ability to get out there and be a mismatch with linebackers, and honestly too with nickels. He's shown in fall camp he can go out there and win one-on-one matchups versus nickels in the pass game. But I think really just his versatility, you don't know what we're going to do with him in the core. If we split him out, we got to keep defenses honest that way.
When we talked to you at Big Joe Media Day, you seemed pretty proud of where your weight was at. Have you been able to maintain that now that you're out there every day practicing?
Yeah, thankfully. Been able to hold my weight pretty well. It's honestly better in camp because you get up so early, can get hydrated, get food on your stomach before practice, and then after practice you still have time to eat breakfast or eat a lunch, and then you come back later in the day, you have dinner, and then you get night snacks. So they have all the resources here for us to get calories in our body. We just have to be pros about it. But I'm not a really big sweater. I don't sweat off a bunch of pounds in practice, and we get after it in the weight room. So I've been able to, hopefully maintain some of the muscle, and I haven't dropped in that aspect of it. So just always being proactive with stuff like that so that I can be able to maintain my body weight throughout the whole season.
I know you're a guy who likes to do some interesting exercises when you get the chance. Are there any muscle groups or any things you've really been working on to help your game?
Yeah, my hips. I mean, whenever my hips get locked up, I feel real like I kind of like to think of it as like a spring, like being able to move and rotate, and as a thrower, rotational movement, being able to have my hips unlocked really allows me to be able to place the ball and be the most accurate version of myself. So just being able to stay on top of my hip regimen. I got a good plan pre-practice, post-practice, to be able to keep my hips, low back, upper back, mid back, stuff like that unlocked so that I can twist and be able to place the ball where I want to place it.
How does this fall feel different? Is it just being back in this offense more fun? Just what's kind of the feeling for you right now?
I think the competition, yeah, it's more fun, I think, than it was last year. But I think the competition, like the defense has their good days, the offense has our good days. Like we go out there each and every day, and we're trying to get after the defense trying to get after us. Like we got some competitors out there, guys that really want to win. And I think the competition, the friendly competition, I think makes everybody better, but it also makes practice kind of like a game, and there's almost like there's something on the line every day. So it allows us to go out there and really push ourselves to the max.
Who gives you the most problems defensively?
Probably Wendell. Man, Wendell is a stud. I remember playing against him last year. His ability to rush the passer, drop into coverage, like they ask him to do a lot. He's super athletic, and he knows what it takes. He trains like a pro. He's always at the facility. Makai too. I think Makai is a guy I kind of chirp with back and forth every day. And I think that, competitiveness really pushes me to get after it every day as a quarterback. So got a bunch of guys that rotate and play a bunch of snaps for us. We've looked really good across all over, but those are probably the first two names that popped in my head.
Who on the offensive line have you kind of been building a nice rapport with here lately?
I think it all starts with the center and Dylan Villaro. Young guy, played a bunch of snaps for us last year, but it's really good to see him take positive steps, and I think he's done a really good job in that room, being a leader, holding guys accountable. And it's hard to come in at it and it be in a young position and be sprung into a starter role so quick, but the way he goes about his work, the way he leads that room is really good to see, especially from being an older guy looking down at a younger guy now. Like I'm really impressed with what he's been able to do. But we've asked a bunch of guys to do a bunch of different things for us this year. I think Ollie, being a true freshman, coming in, taking a bunch of snaps and reps this year. Then you got Chase, and we got Gus at the tackle position. We had Ryan Howard take a bunch of snaps for us this year. Like with all the guys we had banged up in the spring, we had a bunch of guys rotate in and take reps. But I think a lot of the guys are doing a really good job of being able to seize their opportunities and make the most of them. But I mean, we got I probably had 10 guys lined up in front of me, and it's really good to see guys like you got Charlie that's played a bunch of snaps for us, and Keaton and Tyler. Like we got a bunch of guys that have really done a really good job to keep be protected and allow me to do my thing. So
has it been nice, kind of a breath of fresh air, like easing into this season, not going across the country and across the world, and playing in week 0?
Yeah, I would never willingly want to do that again. I think it was just tough because you play week 0, so camp starts earlier, and like it almost felt like our camp was a month long, and even our game prep weeks leading up to our first game, since we didn't have school, it still was treated like camp. We were still here from 6 a.m. to like 8 p.m. every day. So it was just a lot, like mentally. And when you go through the same process over and over and over again, it can kind of get repetitive, and it can kind of like turn your brain into mush. And I mean, guys can not lock in and be here. We could be in a meeting, but you're not all the way there. I think it was just a lot for us last year to have to go there, come back. Like you have to deal with jet lag. I got jet lagged on like a Tuesday. Then you're kind of sleepwalking into your real week 1 game. It was just a lot, and being able to, I think giving up a home game didn't make as much sense as giving up an away game. But at the end of the day, like this is kind of what I talked to the team. Like if we had to go play in Ireland this year, like, man, put the ball down, line it up, and let's go out and play. Like we can't complain about we're gonna have to play cold games, we have to play hot games, night games, morning games, like whatever it is. The conditions don't matter. Where we play doesn't matter. Like, put the lines down, put the ball down, pylons, get refs there. Like, let's go out there and play. I think that's the mindset of this team this year.
There's some numbers that suggest maybe playing against pressure hasn't been your strong suit the last couple of years. Just how do you think you've gotten better in that this offseason, and what has Collin's offense kind of done to maybe make that look a little bit better going forward?
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, you have a perfect pocket every time, and but that's just not the nature of the position. That's not the nature of football. I think what I've really tried to do here recently is been able to use my strengths. I think I'm a really good athlete, so if I do get pressure, I can make teams pay. I can get outside the pocket. I can scramble, still be efficient. If it's 4 yards, if it's 5 yards, whatever it is, we can still be efficient on first and second down. Keeping plays alive, keeping drives alive. There's a lot of things that happen whenever I was able to have scramble opportunities this fall. But I think another thing is just not speeding myself up internally. I think one game I remember from last year is Arizona, and I think we had a lot of pressure early, and it can kind of cause your clock in your head to speed up a little bit, and then you're kind of pressing, playing faster than what you want to press. You're not putting the ball where you want to put it, and it's really a mental thing for me that it's hard to simulate in practice because we're not live. So it's a hard thing to simulate, but we did a really good job simulating it last Saturday of being able to say, hey, we got some pressure. And being able to simulate stuff like that before week one allows me to be able to identify it, take accountability for it, and then really work towards it. So I'm really excited to see kind of the things that I've worked on this offseason and how they will translate to live settings come this fall. But there's been a lot of, I would say, banked reps at that in the offseason to the best of our coaching staff's ability, to the best of my ability. But I think it's really just more a mental thing for me and just saying, like, hey, go out there. It's part of the game. You're going to get hit sometimes. You're going to have to take sacks sometimes, take care of the ball, put the ball where it needs to be, and just get it to your playmakers.
Last one,
Avery, what's the advantage of having so many tight ends that you can use?
I think for us, man, like teams that want a personnel match, we can get you in 12 personnel, we can get you in 13 personnel, and we can make your linebackers cover our tight ends. And we'll take that matchup any time of the day. And if you don't want a personnel match, you want to just keep a nickel on the field, then we'll hand the ball off to our running backs, put it behind our offensive line, let our tight ends get in the core and block stuff like that. But CK is such a mastermind with that different type of stuff. I think why I like tight ends so much is I think it can kind of make the defense a little bit more vanilla. You can put two tight ends in the core. It can clean up pictures on the outside. We have two big body receivers. You put a big body tight end in there, and now we're playing with four pass catchers that are all 6'4", 6'5". So as a quarterback, it's really good to be able to just be versatile and have different ways you can line up in different formations and just kind of clear pictures up for me. But I think another thing is just matchups. I think that's why I like tight ends so much.
Okay. Thank you, guys.